Yay! And we're live.
Relax.
Welcome. Hi, Kat. So I'm here with Katarina, and we want to talk about bodies. Um, yeah, we have this because Katarina and I were chatting, and we wanted to talk about the energetics of body change. So, Katarina, do you want to tell us a little bit about that and what that is?
Well, what it is like in general, but what it is in these 10 seconds.
Yes,
What look at it. So
exactly.
so what I've been looking at a lot is that we do talk a lot about energy, especially in access consciousness, or probably more in access consciousness than anywhere else. But we do talk a lot about energy. But when it comes to body change, we changing our bodies or how our bodies change, when we notice that our bodies change and all of that, we often kind of forget that. And we look at the linear thing like A causes B, and how if we want to change it, we look very, very focused on whatever we find to be a problem or something we want to change. But the energetics is really what changes everything. Like everything is energy. Our bodies are energy. We are energy. Everything around us is energy. So really to change your body, a lot of what that involves is actually to look at the energetics of what it is you would like to change, shift, or create. So that's where the energetics of body change came from, because I was wondering what can we get to if we have a conversation where we actually dive into energetics
Yeah,
instead of just like, okay, I want to change this, then do that.
yeah.
So away from the linear and into the more all consuming energies of
Yeah.
everything.
And it's very easy also to go into the conclusion of what things are going on for you. So what about the kind of difference between conclusion and asking questions? Because we talk a lot about being in question in access and what that can actually contribute to the body when you be in question versus going into the conclusion.
I love that you said that. And it's actually several things. So it's like the difference between conclusion and question, but also the difference between conclusion and your knowing. Like,
Mm,
how do you know if this is something I know about my body and what's going on for it, or that it's a conclusion that's based on a judgment or something that I've already decided is going on and I'm now reconfirming it with my question. So let's look at all those three things. So if we start with a question, I love this when we look at it even from the eating perspective. So often we go to what would I like to eat?
yeah,
But the question before that is actually, do my body require something? Does it require
yeah,
food, air, drink? It isn't necessarily already with the questions, what would my body like to eat? What would I like to eat, or what would my body like to eat? There's already a conclusion in that question, which is my body requires food. I am hungry. Both those are conclusions. It's even like, does my body require something right now? That
mm,
may be like, where you're not even assuming that it requires something. And then, okay, so maybe you get, okay, yeah, maybe yeah, it requires something. You get a likeness on that. And then, okay, body, what do you require? And then you can try some things and see what pings. Like, do you require something to drink, food, a hug? Do you require some nature? Do you require air? And we're so entrained to
yeah,
go to the conclusion, like in each of those steps, there's a pre-drawn conclusion, something that we've learned that we're supposed to go to. So when we choose between the chips bag and the apple, we're
yeah,
already in a conclusion. And yet again, like, even with so let's go, we got body requires something, body require food, right? And then we go over to our counter, wherever, and there's a chips bag and a
yeah,
bowl of apples, okay? And we go up, but in our heads, we've already learned we should pick the apple. Like, that's what
right,
we learned
yeah,
from years and years since we were kids. We should pick the apple. The apple is a healthier choice. The apple is what make the body happier. But that's what we've drawn as a conclusion from our mind. What if, even when you're standing, what if your body right now require salt? Like,
yeah,
really require salt? And there's something either you know, somehow the body hasn't gotten enough salt the last few hours, days, whatever. And your body's going, oh, look, there's a whole bag full of salt. And it's exactly what I require. But we go, apple, body, you should desire apple. So when we go there, we're like influencing the choice based on all those preconceived conclusions, decisions, and judgments that we have with us. Wow. And that's why where we lose like the energetics, because if we follow the energy, every single choice we make are as if we would make it the first time.
Yeah.
Right? So you like when you're going, okay, body, do you require something? As soon as you go back and think what the body required last time, you're already concluding, deciding, judging. It's kind of like if you woke up right now, never asked your body anything before, never really lived here on earth before. And that's how, like, what would your body answer then? So that's why these judgments, conclusions, decisions, we've been trained, it's in a way makes it so much harder to follow the energy. So that was like the question part, like really asking questions requires you, one, not to have an investment in the outcome.
Yeah.
Like really uncreate and destroy everywhere you're invested in the outcome, not have a point of view, what's the right and wrong choice. So everywhere I've already decided what's the good, better, and perfect choice here. Let's uncreate and destroy it. And also what's the bad, awful, terrible choice here. Let's uncreate and destroy that. And then when you go to everything you decided that's good for your body and bad for your body, based on what you concluded, read, decided, let's uncreate and destroy that. And now suddenly your question is starting, at least at the more free-flowing energetic space. It's a question that isn't already, being pushed into this particular right road to take. So that way, and then when you were talking about, conclusions and questions, but we also learn, and we do, I just want to point this out, we know a lot about our bodies. Continue, like the only one that really knows anything about your body when you're willing to function from question and energy is you. You know so much about your body all the time. And this is it's one of the trickier parts. When you start getting in touch with your body, you actually have so much of a sense of what's true for you and true for your body. But then you're in that little thing there where your knowing and your conclusion are like, they sometimes get entangled with each other. And that's when all the things we talked about before still goes, right? All the conclusions, all the judgment, all the entrainment you have about what's true for your body and what's true for you, but also everywhere where you land in a truth with a lie attached. And this is one of my favorite things with bodies, because we often get to knowing, oh, something is going on here in my body. Something is going on in my stomach. Like I can perceive that. That's probably a truth. Like, that you're perceiving something there. Now, the lie that easily gets attached to it is when we start to find the right conclusion of what's going on in our stomach, in our foot, in our wherever. And not only from the energetic perspective, there are so many things that goes on in your body, and it can be coming from so many places, but also our bodies is this amazingly interconnected organism. So sometimes when your neck hurts, it's actually something that's up with your knee. And it's like going off through your body. Yeah. It's a very simple physical. So even from a very physical, like, point of view, nearly scientific point of view, a lot of the things that we have going on in one part of our body is caused by something that actually is going on in another part. And then if you take that even further and put the energetics in there, like anytime you decide this is a problem with X, therefore I have to do Y, you are like disregarding all the other letters in the alphabet. And not only that, like all the other alphabets that exist in the universe and the sign languages and all. So Yeah. Did that answer?
Oh no, that was amazing. But it sort of it reminds me of that whole conversation about being willing to receive as well, and having and lowering the walls and barriers, and also the contribution that other things around you, not just what you take into your body and do with your body, but I'm sitting outside and I can see the beautiful view and the trees and the sun, and just inviting all of the energies from the earth as well to contribute to your body. So maybe you can talk a little bit about inviting and receiving.
Oh, yeah, that's brilliant too. Because again, like if we look at our bodies as a isolated organism, like so our bodies are the sensory organism we experience life on this planet with, but they're not disconnected from the planet.
Yeah.
Our bodies are like of the planet, by the planet, and they are the planet. I mean, we walk on the planet, and as an extension, when we look at the planet, we don't think that the tree is not part of the planet, because the tree is, growing on the planet, but we are also growing on the planet. We just walk on it, like we just move. So we are we are part of this much bigger organism, which is our planet. And that, and for me, I think that is so much more, it is so much more potent than we have even started to look at. I remember seeing this program about just walking on the earth barefoot and what it actually creates in your body when you allow the earth to touch the bare skin, and like how that actually affects all of you. There's a lot of information and podcasts and all kinds of things coming up right now of how interconnected our whole system is with what we eat, for example, and what we walk on, and how we interact with the earth and nature.
Yeah.
But today, just as this, like a example of what we talked about before with the question and the conclusion. So I was listening to this podcast about how not only is it what we eat, but actually what affects us so immensely is what kind of energy are we eating the food in? What kind of
it's the way you be with it is in the moment, right?
Yes. And like if you're sitting, and I know that I mean, they talk about this in Ayurveda and all those kinds of things too, because if you sit calmly, eat your food in peace, enjoy every piece, if it's cooked, with love,
yes.
All that has a very different nurturing quality.
Yes, and the gratitude as well. Yeah.
And the gratitude, the joy, the like gifting and receiving from the one that cooked the food and from you receiving it. That's why often we really, once we start to really appreciate the energetic subtleties of food, we really appreciate when the raw food came, like it was picked in a garden from something. It sounds silly and probably snobby way, but there's an energy to that too. There's an energy that goes through the very growing of that plant, from caring and nurturing, getting picked, getting cooked, and then like eaten by people in that same energy. And all of that, when they measure it, actually influences how much the nurturing we get from that food, how much our bodies can actually receive it. So it's like this energetics of body change is everything from question, knowing, and the choice of how we receive. It's the same with medicines. We know that placebo often works as well as the actual medicine, because energetically, our point of view is, I take this, I'm going to get better. And even if it's not the medicine that actually is prescribed for us, it's a placebo, we still get better because we have the point of view that we will get better. And that is also the energetics of change.
Yeah.
Your point of view is so powerful. Sorry, Laura, go.
No, you're slightly breaking up for me because I'm outside, but because I used to do this with water. I had the point of view that when I was drinking the water, it was going to make me better. And I did that from such an early age. And then I started to do it with all the food that I was eating. And, and I really notice the difference of when I be that space to when I'm not being that space.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to affect your body in any other way other than being a contribution.
And it's such a you told me about how you did this with water, and I've started to do that a lot with nearly everything I eat. Like really, when you eat it, like or drink it, go, thank you for contributing this to me, and this will help this, or this will help this. And again, it is such a subtle thing. So it doesn't, you actually have to have the point of view that it will help you. And this is also why placebo is such a good example of energetics, because the people that do take placebo that it works for, they really think they're eating the correct medicine. So they have the point of view. They think there's a 50% chance they do. So they have the point of view that it will assist. But again, it's the point of view, the energy. And that means that our bodies are so potent that they can actually create this change based on the energy that you are giving your body, that you are gifting your body, that you are communicating with your body. And it's the same with the earth. So if I'm walking out on the earth and have the point of view that, oh my God, I have to walk out on the earth, what a silly suggestion. Like, what is that? It may not have the same effect if you walk out on the earth and you go, okay, hey, earth, I'm here. Would you contribute to me? Can I contribute to you somehow? And again, like that, playing with this energetics, because it is a language from A to Z. It's a language that is nonlinear, chaotic, in the best of ways, like the chaos of creation in every moment. And really be willing to, like, you started playing with the water when you were, I don't know, a teenager, right? Did you hear that? Sorry, Laura, I think maybe you froze. I'm not hearing you.
Yes, I did.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And it really, I know. Yeah. No, I did. And it was such a contribution to me.
And I think also.
Yes, I know. And I've just seen I've got 4% on my computer as well.
Oh, we're going to end in 2 minutes.
Your question.
Yeah, we're going to end in 2 minutes. So that's awesome. I just want to say, like, this is one of the conversations that is going on so much for me right now. Just looking at this, we're going for the rest percent here. And this is also something we look at in all the different access body classes that goes on all around the world. So I would love to invite you to be part of that conversation there's body classes in every country, not in every, but in a lot of countries. And just if this interest of you, if there's something you want to explore, come and explore this. Because what if you and your body could really enjoy your adventure here on Earth? And what if your body could be your best friend in that adventure? So we're going to end before Laura's computer runs out. Thank you so much, Laura, for coming on and asking brilliant questions. You guys, I hope to see some of you in a body class soon. Thank you, Laura.